Rebonjour, c'est Nicomax sur Text Me fait Overseer pour un énième épisode. 10e je crois, 11e, un truc comme ça. Alors, ah oui, j'avais un fax. Ah, plusieurs. Le numéro de la ligne directe de Frank Chiming est 015 4483. On va pouvoir l'appeler. Frank Chiming, né en 1980 à Mamaroneck, État de New York, diplômé de l'université. Rejoint l'entreprise Gideon en 2029. On est actuellement président du conseil d'administration, célibataire, pas de casier judiciaire, n'est enregistré comme membre d'aucun parti politique. En 84 dans Devonshire et Angleterre. Créer les entreprises de Gideon. Oui, c'est. Milliardaire depuis que son entreprise a été cotée en bourse le 12 avril 2035, inventeur, philanthrope, écrivain et champion d'échecs amateur. Champion d'échecs amateur. Spécialisé dans la recherche et l'installation de systèmes de sécurité de haute technologie, est rentré dans le club des 500 plus riches entreprises en 2034, capital ouvert avec le 12 avril 2035, action actuellement évaluée à 200 $. Ok. On s'en fiche un petit peu. Par contre, on va pouvoir appeler Frank Chiming.
Yes.
Mr. Chiming, my name's Murphy. I'd like to ask you a few questions about STG.
Is this an official investigation?
Yeah, if you're a nice guy and play ball with me, I think we can keep this thing off the record.
I believe it's within my rights to ask for whom you work.
I don't work for anybody. I'm working with Wanda Peck.
So, you're with Capricorn. I thought you people had gotten tired of pestering me.
We know you're a very busy man. A few quick questions and I'll let you get back to ruling the world.
What is it you want this time?
Oh là là. Ça va être un long interrogatoire.
No one by the name of Carl Linsky has ever been on Gideon Enterprises' payroll. Mr. Gideon founded this corporation and brought it to prominence. And he did this despite mediocre business skills, which have diminished along with his general mental state over the past several years. He became obsessed with pet projects and was leading the company in a counterproductive direction. And for that reason, the board of directors saw fit to limit his authority in business matters.
So what does Mr. Gideon think about all of this?
Why don't you ask him yourself? I'm sure he'd appreciate a visit from someone other than nurses and wheelchair repairmen. I'll let you know where to find him. Professionally, I strive to do what the board of directors pays me to do. Run this corporation as effectively and profitably as possible. My personal life is none of your business. We are the world's foremost innovator and implementer of security surveillance systems. We are also the parent company for dozens of smaller firms, ranging from computer chip makers to research facilities. I don't know who that is. Totally unfamiliar. I have nothing of any importance to say about that. I know John Claus, but only socially. I'll have to take your word that the other man is Carl Linsky. I've never seen him before in my life. We have many small subsidiary companies. If I remember correctly, STG was research-based, and probably more of a write-off than anything. I know it is no longer in operation, and its existence was unimportant, to say the least. Now, this questioning is getting tiresome. Get to the point if you have one. I don't know who that name is completely foreign to me.
Attends. Non, c'était Rona Morgan qui... On va pas en la liste. C'est plus tard. Ah, c'est là.
Miss Morgan was a top engineering consultant for Gideon Enterprises for many years. She left and started her own company several years ago and was doing quite well last time I heard.
Ouais, mais elle est morte.
My political beliefs are my own, and I make a point of not allowing them to interfere at any time with my business dealings. I respect the work Capricorn does, which is the only reason I'm talking to you now. To my knowledge, Gideon Enterprises has done nothing to warrant a Capricorn investigation. Now, this questioning is getting tiresome. Get to the point if you have one. North Hill Clinic security system was installed by our corporation. That is the extent of my dealings with the clinic. Chess was and is a common motif in Gideon Enterprises, owing to Mr. Gideon's avid interest in the game. I have no interest in it myself. I haven't heard of it. The name is completely foreign to me. I have no opinion of you whatsoever, Mr. Murphy.
Bon, bah c'est fini. Juste un truc que je vais voir.
I'm willing to bet.
Ouais, non. On va pouvoir aller voir Gideon. C'est une jeune Gideon, un truc comme ça. Hop.
You actually met Jason Gideon in person?
Yeah. Want my autograph?
Well, what was he like? What about the mansion? Oh, I heard it was spectacular.
A little garish for my taste, but nice. Now, the mansion, on the other hand...
Very funny.
Little flat you've got here.
You must find it ostentatious. I bet I do as well. It's certainly too much home for only one person.
You don't live here alone, do you?
I'm afraid so. My fortune has provided me with a fully automated, self-sufficient existence. I suppose my disability has given me an aversion to reliance on others. I want for nothing. Except perhaps human companionship, and that only after my somewhat forced semi-retirement.
Well, don't you worry about your safety. I mean, given your condition.
Gideon Enterprises defines state-of-the-art with regard to security systems. I am surrounded, perhaps imprisoned, by the very finest electronic moat. No, I don't worry about my safety, though I thank you for your concern. Now, to what do I owe this welcome visit?
I'm investigating the death of Carl Linsky. He was an employee in your corporation.
Oh, no. Gideon Enterprises is no longer mine, I'm afraid. I'm sure that Frank Shimming would be a better source of information than I.
I already talked with Frank Shimming. He was about as helpful as a DMV employee in the middle of his 2-week notice.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I won't mince words. I don't like shimming. My complete trust in him was repaid with his exploiting my lack of management acumen, then usurping my position as head of Gideon.
But you're still president of the corporation.
Yes, yes. I have no more real authority to run my company than the King of England has to run his country. I'm merely a figurehead, nothing more.
Why don't you just sack him, as the English say?
Even if I could, what would be the point, huh? My time is past. I'm as outdated as this antique. Such is the cutthroat nature of business. Though I dare say the world itself has become nothing more than a business run by a select few.
I'm not sure I agree, Mr. Gideon. I think there are a lot of people out there who want to make the world a better place.
Oh? And you, my fine friend, how do you intend to make the world a better place?
I don't know. Keep an open mind, respect others, buy Girl Scout cookies.
You think this will make a difference?
I think if enough people care, it just might catch on.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I used to think like you at one time. But idealism costs nothing, and I lived on it for many years. But its taste is bittersweet. It's in large part the reason why I can no longer walk. You'd like to hear what happened, wouldn't you?
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, I've been in this damn cage for more years than I care to remember. I've had to grow accustomed to it. It was 2013. I was in Geneva to attend a covert meeting of UN operatives. There were 14 of us, and at least one was a traitor, armed with an explosive device. I was the only survivor.
Did you ever find out who it was?
No. It could have been any one of a score of countries or organizations. But I don't suppose it matters anymore. It was the beginning of the end. There are no heroes anymore, only villains of varying degrees.
What about Capricorn? You support what they do, don't you?
Oh, Capricorn does what they do, but they're merely fighting the good fight. Oh, greed and corruption have the upper hand. When I was younger, I sincerely believed we could achieve a semblance of global order and harmony. That was only the foolish dream of a youthful idealist. Once I was crippled, I was no longer of use. No, I was turned loose into the world. A cruel and deadly steeplechase where survival was a matter of social Darwinism. I was lost. I believed that my handicap had denied me my destiny. Years and years passed before I realized that I still had much to offer. With little more than a plan, I laid the foundations of Gideon Enterprises. Among the mutant population, I found other social misfits whose skills and talents had been overshadowed by their physical abnormalities. Oh, those were difficult times. We were openly ridiculed. Finding investors and financing was an often humiliating series of rejections. How could someone like myself, a cripple, ever hope to accomplish such a venture? But eventually, we did succeed. Becoming the wealthiest and most powerful corporation of its type in the world. I had recaptured the idealism of my youth. The belief that through sacrifice, commitment, and hard work, anything was possible. But then it happened again. In the blink of an eye, all those years of investment and careful nurturing were torn from me by thieves and liars masquerading as board members and stockholders. And now, towering over them all is Frank Shimming. His disregard for integrity is matched only by his worship of dividends and profit margins. So nothing has happened. I have come full circle. And once again, I'm unwanted, unneeded, and facing a purposeless existence. So you listen to me. If you insist in striding through life, arms laden with hope, you will only meet with one devastating disappointment after another. Oh, please forgive me, Mr. Murphy. You must be a very busy man. I must apologize for monopolizing your time with my ramblings.
I don't mind.
Oh, it's good of you to indulge me. Just that I receive so few visitors these days. But we must return to your investigation. Please, tell me what I can do to assist you. I only know, I should say knew, him by reputation. He was an outstanding neurologist in his time. I read about his suicide in the newspapers. I don't want you to pity me, Mr. Murphy. I have enough creature comforts to make life worth living. I'd rather talk about something more pleasant. Suffice to say that Mr. Shimming will not be receiving a Christmas card from me this year. I feel like a parent whose child has left the nest. I created Gideon Enterprises, nursed it and raised it to adulthood. And now it's left me with an empty home and too many hours in the day. Mr. Valdez runs a chess shop called the Rank and File in the old city. We play quite often over the Ethernet. Yes, he's one of the few worthy opponents I've found. In chess terminology, a poisoned pawn is the bait in a trap. Whoever is going by that name probably considers him or herself a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. I'm afraid I haven't heard of it. This is Karlinsky? Well, I only knew him by name, and I didn't recognize the other man. I know nothing about that. I wish I could be of more assistance. No, I'm unfamiliar with the name. I am unacquainted with her. The Law and Order Party is merely a Machiavellian byproduct of our society's decay. Their goals are not altogether unworthy, but those ends do not justify their means. But unfortunately, they've struck a chord with the public. And with an appealing candidate like Robert Knott, they will surely gain a great deal of power. I sometimes feel that Capricorn is the last bastion of sanity in the world. Their efforts are laudable but futile. Rona Morgan was a beautiful, intelligent woman trapped in a deformed shell. She joined our engineering team early on and soon proved her immense value. She went into business for herself some time ago, with my blessing. I wish I could be of more assistance. Unfortunately, my condition has required numerous treatments. The care I've received at North Hill, however, has been exceptional. Chess is my only diversion. Oh, if you care to play, I'd be glad to teach you a thing or two about the game. I owe what quality of life I have to a variety of DHS medications. Without them, I probably would not be having this conversation. No, I'm unfamiliar with the name. You remind me very much of myself when I was younger. I sincerely hope you'll keep in mind the things I've told you.
Ok. Bon, fin du dialogue. Et on va pouvoir aller dans ce magasin d'échecs. Je vais juste aller... Plus j'ai un message. Je vais sauvegarder. Voilà. Et je vais arrêter la vidéo, je reprendrai au prochain épisode. Je vous remercie de votre attention et je vous dis à la prochaine.